Have you been feeling like it's taking more courage to show up as your authentic self, to speak your truth lately? It's a little ironic to say about this theme, but you're not alone in feeling alone when showing up as your authentic self feels vulnerable. Hi, I'm Bella of Nurture Astrology. I'm a professional Western astrologer, and I specialize in empowering people, helping them connect with their best potentials and celebrate the individuality and their uniqueness. And today I'd like to speak about Chiron and Aries. Chiron, the archetype of the wounded healer, speaks to our vulnerabilities, speaks to the wound of the human condition, the fear of being rejected, which we all feel on some level at some point in our lives. And it's unique to each of us how that shows up and how we carry that, how we bring that forward. At the same time, Chiron and Aries, which has moved into Aries in 2018 but is being activated now, so it's important to speak of it now. It's important for it to show up. It's important for us to show up these days. That invitation, the invitation that it brings, is to have the courage to try a new way, to pioneer a path forward in your life, to reinvent yourself in your life, often in a way where you are no longer playing into expectations from authority figures or like allowing your fears to keep you small. You're just saying, okay, it's go time. It's time to just be myself. This is what's right for me now, and so I have to do XYZ, regardless of any backlash that you may get from anyone else, because it's a much deeper pain to betray yourself. And while response from anyone else can be incredibly painful and frustrating, the pain of self-betrayal ultimately just like bubbles up from the inside and ends up just creating frustrations and wounding us, hurting us, poisoning our life slowly but surely, until and unless we dare to step forward and to try a new way. Chiron and Aries invites us to look at our defense mechanisms, to look at all the different ways that we've been giving our authority away, that we have not been acting individually. We've been allowing to maybe go along with a group, go along with somebody else's leadership. And with Chiron and Aries, we get to look at the part of the wound of the human condition, which says, no one else can see from my eyes, no one else can hear from my ears, and no one else can feel from my heart. Only I know exactly what's ailing me. And so I have to take the leadership back into my own hands to find what is going to work for me. And when anyone else demands that I conform to what they think is right, they can't know. And often they whoever the they are not accommodating exactly what it is that you need to accommodate within you, your unique journey, your unique need. What does it mean for you to reinvent yourself? Where in your life do you need to reinvent yourself? One invitation that I definitely want to bring forward, that regardless in which area of life that shows up for you, take a close, intimate look at your defense mechanisms, at the ways in which you break away from the old, because it's how you do that often involves connections with other people, that then shows up as alienation versus the balancing effect of I'm stepping forward to be more myself. However, I'm daring to invite other people to see me in my ache, in my frustration, in whatever I'm dealing with that's personal. I've been very glad to see more redefinitions lately that speak to how there is no courage without vulnerability. True truth has never existed, in my opinion. There is no way to be daring unless you're willing to show some of the things that have been aching for you, some of the painful feelings and truths and frustrations and things that have been bubbling up within you, the things that make you feel alone. when you share them with someone else, at the very least you open up the possibility that you might be heard, you might be met, that somebody else can say, hey, I feel that way as well. And even if they don't, you definitely open up the possibility to see yourself, to meet yourself in that deeper way. And so much healing can begin and needs to begin exactly from that point, looking yourself in the eye, looking at the truth of who and what you are, being willing to acknowledge your emotions, to acknowledge your experiences, to acknowledge the ways in which you are not like this person or that person or this group or that group, where you need a new way, and to go forward and seek that new way. What does healing look like for you? What does soothing feel like for you? Where does it come from? There are no easy answers to this, because Chiron Aries invites you into the reinvention, and reinvention by its nature means you're seeking a new way, and you're laying the brick beneath your own feet step by step. You're figuring out as you go. It's not going to look graceful. It's not going to be all figured out at once. It can be and will be fumbly and awkward. But guess what? That is vulnerable courage, and that is what Chiron invites you into. Remember that we're all awkward sometimes, especially as we're figuring out a new path, a new way, as we're reinventing ourselves, as we're daring to try something different. That is how it's supposed to look like. Perfection doesn't exist, but you do. Your unique self does. It's imperfectly beautiful and unique. And it's for you to dare to speak it, be it, show up as it, and dare to meet yourself in that way, which then opens up the possibility not only for someone else to also see you in that light, which then alleviates some of that ache and can address the frustrations and the experiences that you have had that you've potentially had to fight for before. Now try, instead of fighting with the old tools which are no longer working, try to bring your heart to the table. And that can look different. I'm not encouraging anybody to do that where it feels unsafe, truly unsafe. So use your own discernment, but wherever it's possible, show up as your real self. Let people know what's truly in your heart, what's truly on your mind. And if that alienates you from the people you're speaking to, that's painful and terrifying, but it's less painful, a lot less painful than feeling alienated from yourself. And so you have to take that chance. And eventually that makes you a pioneer, not just for yourself, but as a potential inspiration for others who can relate to your experience of feeling alone, feeling frustrated, feeling aching. I invite you to look at your defense mechanisms and look at ways in which you can dismantle the defense in order to find a way to show up that could work better. Explore ways that could work better while still being authentically yourself. It's a little bit of a paradox, but it's an important one. If you need any help with this process, I'm someone who's here for that. That is my specialty, and I would love to be there for you to clarify any parts of your life which are a mess right now, any feelings which are jumble, to make sense of what's going on for you, and to help you make choices that will support and enable you to move forward through this or any other astrological process, which is really the process of living. If I can be of help to you, please reach out to me at nurtureastrology.com. I'll put a link below, and feel free to subscribe and await the next video, because there will be more. Until then, be you. Until next time.